Well, here we go. Good to see you all. It's probably going to be a all-nighter. I was up 24 hours, maybe 26, maybe 28. I didn't count. So I just woke up about 9:30 Central Standard Time. Been working. Go check out Black on Black Sports. Make sure you subscribe to Black on Black Sports. That's something you're going to want to watch, okay? So go check out Black on Black Sports. It's popping, okay? So I was working on that. That took some work, okay? But make sure you go check it out and subscribe to Black on Black Sports. So go check out Black on Black Sports. That's going to be fire. I'm doing my sports thing. Not really. It's historical, but I'm a little rusty. Oh, man. The recent one I just did, I couldn't pronounce all them names, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I couldn't pronounce these people names. These people names was crazy, but I did my best. So check out Black on Black Sports. It's going to be fantastic once I really get it rolling. I get these ideas and I follow through on them. So I get these ideas and I follow through on them. And Black on Black Sports is definitely something you want to subscribe to. If you got children and they want to mess around on the internet, make them watch some of that. Make them learn some history. So that's going to be fire. So we got Richmond, Virginia in the building. All right. We got Oakland. We got Oakland in the building. What up, my brother Dre? Dre, your shirt is on the way too. Your shirt should be getting there or sometime in the next couple days because it went out last week. We got Compton, California in the building. You right in the mix, honest student. We got Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Compton. It was my first home when I reached California. I love Compton. I'm an official Compton resident. If you ask me, I love Compton and I love LA. And yes, I was on that bus from LA to Compton. You know what I'm saying? I love LA. I love Compton. Compton was nice. I don't know what's going on there now, but there was some situations. We got New York in the building. We got California in the building. Salute, Drew. Salute, much respect, King. We got Richmond, California in the building. Uh, we got, of course, my brother from up in Northern Cali in the building, representing San Francisco. San Francisco. I remember my first time going to San Francisco. We got Cleveland, Ohio, and Detroit, Michigan in the building. Both I got family members at both of them. We got Chicago in the building. We got the beautiful and lovely Teresa here from North Carolina. She's representing Bullock with her extra pretty self. We got Sacramento, California. We got Greensboro, North Carolina. Good to see you, Go. Yeah, so let's let everybody get in here and talk about this situation. I'm definitely going to be covering this situation. We got East Los Angeles in the building. We got the Queen is in the building. All hail the Queen. Kathy is in the building. All hail the Queen. Highly Favored is in the building. Hey, gorgeous. So there's a lot going on. I'm going to be fair and balanced because, I got a lot of compadres. I got a lot of Hispanic associates. So I'm not really comfortable with trashing Hispanics like that. But everybody gets it over here. Black Americans get it, whites get it, Africans from every country get it, Asians get it, men get it, women get it. Everybody kind of gets it over here because everybody's messing up, but not everybody in that group is messing up. So you got a lot of black men that's messing up, but black men are not messing up. See what I'm saying? We got a lot of black women that's messing up, but black women are not messing up, just the ones that are messing up. And it's the same with what's going on with the Hispanics over in LA. A lot of Mexican Americans, second generation, they ain't happy. They don't like it. They don't like it at all. They don't like it. They don't like it. They feel like it's ruining their way of life. A lot of Hispanics, especially Mexicans and Cubans and Puerto Ricans, they worked really hard to come to this country and establish themselves. They worked hard. Nobody gave them nothing. Nobody gave them nothing. They worked to get what they had. If they came over as immigrants and they got 7 years, they didn't have to pay no taxes. They took advantage of that. They didn't squander it off. And so a lot of them are not happy. A lot of them don't like waving the Mexican flag. They don't like it. They say it's disrespectful. I'm telling you what Mexican Americans are telling me. They say they don't like waving the Mexican flag. They say This is what I was told. They say they like to be proud of their culture. They can't run away from the fact that their great grandparents, their great great grandparents were Mexicans. They honor that and they love being Mexican. And they don't mind having Mexican celebrations. But they say they're American. They're Mexican Americans. And that they made a choice to come here. They felt like they could get a better life here. And they don't like what's happened since all these Venezuelans and Nicaraguans and all these people that came up here. They said they don't like that some Mexicans are supporting illegal immigration. They say they don't like that. They say because they got relatives here trying to become citizens, and now their citizenship getting revoked, and people is being grabbed. You know what I'm saying? People are being grabbed that's already applied for citizenship and deported. I don't know what's going on, but what they're doing out there, the looting and all this stuff, this doesn't help anything. See, as a foundational black American, to all the Latinas out there, see, we have this problem too. Yeah, foundational black Americans, we have this problem. When we try to stand up and have a demonstration against the police if they unalive somebody unfairly, or we marching for wages, or whatever we're marching for, whatever we're protesting for, we'll set it up. We might come out there at 11 in the morning, 10 in the morning. We start organizing. We start marching. We start protesting. As it starts getting to the evening time, a lot of young people come down there. They get on their phone. Where y'all at? We downtown. We was downtown. They down here protesting. Oh, y'all down there? So then people start coming because they start telling everybody down there. Cassandra down there. Joey Jojo down there. 64 Ted down there. So all they come. Now, when they come, they're not coming for what we down there for. They coming because everybody down there, right? So now when they come, we end up with a bunch of young teenagers and college age children and even grade schoolers, 7th, 8th graders down here standing around watching. Now, they're not the problem. Within that crowd of watchers is the idiots. And the idiots start throwing rocks, busting windows, running in stores. The rest of the young people watching, laughing, they just outside. But it gives the appearance that the whole crowd is out of line, when really there's only a couple hundred bad actors out there in the crowd. Real protesters are there, start to leave, and young people that's just there just because everybody's there. You know, young people's like, everybody's there. So you see the same thing in LA. You see some people there just because everybody down there. But then they're down there, and then you got the provocateurs down there. And if I'm standing down there with the provocateurs and you standing next to me and you throwing bricks, you know, I'm guilty by association. And this is what's going to happen. A lot of innocent people going to get caught up into this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's people down there that don't care nothing about the issue. They down there acting a fool. Because all of this is because too many people came at one time. Too many people came. Too many people came at one time and blew the spot up. This is just a fact. When you had that last year and a half of the Biden administration and all them people came up here and they was all over Chicago, they was all out here begging and stuff like that. You know, the other day I went to a store and there was a young lady out there with her child and she wanted some money. But you know, she'll do anything strange for some change right now. So you can only imagine what's really going on with desperate women, especially that need money. You know how they getting approached. You already know. And so this is an area where nobody be standing out begging. So you look crazy out of place. You understand? You look crazy out of place. You're just standing around. Well, you know, you just stand around like begging. It's a bad look. You sleeping in little cracks and crevices. When they first came in, you know, it was bad. It was bad looking. You know, there's 5 people on the bench, an older lady, then another girl that looked like she can have some children. Then the children don't look like they belong to none of them. It's like an older boy. He looked too old to be with the older lady, but he looked too young to be. I mean, he looked too young to be with the older lady, but he looked too old to be with the younger lady. Then there's some little kids, and you're like, is this a real family? It don't even be looking like no real family. It look crazy. It really do. And it's like this lady can't. This old lady not gonna bring nothing to the economy. You know what I'm saying? So now you got a bunch of people in LA. They out there on their motorbikes. They out there burning rubber. You know, you got the fools that just want to take advantage of it to uh just be trashy. You got the fools out there. And see what's gonna happen is if these fools keep coming around serious protests, they're gonna ban protests. You ain't gonna be able to protest. They're gonna be like, we hate to take away your rights, but we can't let you tear up all these stores and stuff. It just is what it is. We're not, your freedom cannot infringe on business and everybody else. You don't got that kind of freedom. So for you to go tear up some store that ain't got nothing to do with Trump's policy, you're out of line. You're out of line. You're out of line. And I was talking to a friend, I can't say it on YouTube, but if I was the president, it, I can't even say what I would do because I know what I could do about to 5 or 6 of y'all. I make everybody go home. I make everybody go home. If it was me, you'd go home. I'd make an example out of some people. Everybody would go home. For real. For real. I would not let you tear the city up. I wouldn't let you. I wouldn't let you tear the city up. And I would do something that would last for years. Once I do that once, ain't nobody else gonna play. Not in no city. I make everybody in every city sit out. If you want to have a peaceful protest, have a peaceful protest. You want to get out of line, you're gonna get did real dirty. And I'm talking about something simple. I ain't talking about no hard work. And when we make you sit down, we know you're gonna come back outside tomorrow. You're gonna think you can come back outside because you're mad because what I did to these people. So then we're going to do it to some more people that next day. Soon as you come outside, we're going to do you. We're going to do you right away. As soon as you come outside, you know, early. We're going to make it dangerous because other than that, they'll run over you. They'll burn your whole city down. They'll tear everything up. You lose millions of dollars worth of business because you're letting people out here throw rocks and bust windows with no fear of no retribution. It just is what it is. And people would say, oh, I'm bogus. But no, they force in the hand. This is going to happen. They're not going to let people keep tearing up property in the United States. There's going to be martial law of some type when it comes to these things. It's coming. Don't cry when it comes. It is coming. And what happens is when you attack people like that and attack an infrastructure, the infrastructure will start attacking you, will start running up in your homes, will start running up in your apartments, will start snatching you out of schools and jobs and come where you at with your bike. You got your bike down here? You're down there making all this noise? We'll come kick your door in where your bike is at. We'll follow you home. We'll find out where you live at. And we'll kick your door in. And we're going to do your house just like you did downtown. Yeah, we're going to do you. You're going to reap what you sow. What do you think? And when we lock you out, look, you're not getting out. You're not getting out. The least you get, you're doing at least 10, preferably 20 years. If it's me, you'll do the 20 piece. You'll do a 10 piece or a 20 piece. A little straightening because I got to scare everybody. Once we give a few of y'all 20 pieces, everybody will sit down. It's unfortunate. I got to make an example out of you. 20 years. Who else want 20 years? Come tomorrow. Have a protest tomorrow. We're going to give you all 20 years. You're going to be working in a penitentiary for free. You're going to pay for, you're going to fix everything you taught because we're going to sell you to these corporations. And you're going to be working for pennies. You have to work so long for a little bit of money. Under my administration, then after so long, we'll pay you a decent wage, but you won't get it. It'll be in prison for when you get out. You have a little money, you can turn your life around. Because imagine if they go in all these cities and tear these cities up. People saying I'm harsh, but imagine if they go to all these cities and do this and tear them up, and your job call, you can't go to work, you ain't gonna get no paycheck. They done tore up the hospital. They done tore up your place of employment. They might even come on your block and tear up your home, tear up the apartment you live in. Your car parked on the street. They might tear your car up. What you gonna do when they stepping all on your car? You stepping on people's cars and stomping cars out. That ain't got nothing to do with politics. Why you tearing up the citizens' cars? What did the citizens do to you? They tearing up innocent people's stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with this. So you telling me if I'm driving through there, y'all gonna jump all on my car and tear my car up like that? I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm on my way to work. And you out here clowning. You understand? And that's because the police and them is too soft. They ain't supposed to be no rubber bullets. They ain't supposed to be rubber. And I'm going to just say that. Mines wouldn't be rubber. They destroyed Kobe Bryant's mural. Yeah. For what? Racism? Yeah, mine wouldn't be rubber. You know that right off the top. We're not shooting tear gas or rubber. Straight like that. Go home while you can. Go home. Well, I'm going to tell you one time. Disperse. Go home. I'm going to tell you one time. If you're having a peaceful protest, we there to protect you. If you got the dummies out here, we here to disrespect you. We with it. We with it. We with it. We with it. You want to get down? You want to? Because we got to have law and order around here. I'm a person believe in law and order. I'm not going out there. Ain't no black and brown support. Because first off, a lot of them ain't brown. They white. They're white Hispanics. They're not brown. Those are white Hispanics. Spanish is European. So this idea that you speak Spanish and that makes you some type of brown or black culture is wrong. You speak Spanish. That's Spanish, like I speak English. I speak English. You speak Spanish. None of those represent no type of culture. They just represent the place we live at. But for you to leave your homeland and then come to where other people live at and think you could tear it up and break all kind of laws, that ain't what you're supposed to be coming here for. And the Mexicans want to say it used to be Mexico, but the difference between black Americans and them is we been here. Y'all been in Mexico. Y'all ain't been here like that. Y'all didn't have no numbers here like that. Y'all numbers wasn't like that. Y'all numbers didn't start until the late 70s, early 80s where y'all start coming up here like that. I know the history. I was in LA. LA LA in the 80s wasn't like y'all didn't turn it into now and rant everybody out of there. Let's not mention what y'all did to the black people in Compton. They attacked the black residents in Compton, tried to chase black people out of Compton. That's what they did. Now they run around talking about they got all these Hispanic gangs and how deep they are in all this. I'm no jumper talking out the side of your neck. When you done went to LA and overpowered LA because South and Central America's right there and they let y'all flood out California. And now California is trash. I'm not saying Hispanics made it trash, but I'm saying they didn't fix it. They didn't help. They didn't help. They're ruining the economy of California. Ruining it. California gonna be just like where they left from. Run into a country to wave a flag from another country. Where they do that at? So I've been talking to some of the brothers and stuff. They don't like it. They don't like it. They don't like it.
So I could clarify it. You don't want to go back to Mexico. You're protesting to stay away from Mexico. But you're waving the Mexican flag and you're waving it with pride. You're waving it in the United States, the country you're trying to stay in, the country you don't want to leave. But yet you're waving the Mexican flag with pride. Okay. That seems normal to you? That seems logical? That's not stupid at all? None of that's stupid. All right. You guys are an embarrassment to the Mexican culture and to the United States culture. You guys are an embarrassment to everybody around you, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Do better.
He said it. I didn't say it because you putting them in the hot seat. You putting all of the brethren. You putting them in the hot seat. You're making it dangerous for their families. You're making them become stereotyped. You understand? The beef, here I go getting in trouble. The beef between Mexicans and black Americans come from black Americans. Black Americans started that beef. Black Americans started the beef with the Mexicans. Some black Americans started the beef with the Mexicans. That's why some Mexicans didn't like us. Here's what it is. That's where the beef come from. Now, there's always some people don't like each other, but the big beef come from black Americans. Black Americans started that beef with the Mexicans because the Mexicans used to have all the powder, and the blacks used to rob them, tie them up, take kilos from them. The blacks used to rob, they was a stick, they was a stain. So they used to rob, they used to take their stuff, tie them up, unalive them, all that. Y'all too young to know that era. They was a stain. You tell me you want 100 of them things, you just go take them. Did them real bad. They find them in vans. They've been in vans unalive 5 weeks, 2 months. They've been in a van stinking. It's all across the country, especially though where the Mexicans is. The other side, the east side of the country, wouldn't have a lot of Mexicans. They got Puerto Ricans and Cubans and people like that. You know, they got different people over there. But from west, Chicago, they take their stuff. You know, that's when the four corner hustlers was working for El Chapo and rent up on the people in Chicago know I always say too much. But y'all remember when El Chapo paid the foes to take care of some Hispanic business where some Hispanics wasn't moving the way El Chapo wanted them to move? And they end up having to, you know what I'm saying? Do DMX boy that DMX was crying about? Yeah, the foes did him like that. They already been arrested for it, so I ain't telling nothing that the police don't already know. Because they was running off with their own people's stuff. You know, come up here and run off with their own people's stuff, run off with the stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And in America, we the enforcers. We do all the enforcing. Yeah. Yeah, that's how he got did dirty. The foes did that to him. Because he tried to run off with dude money. He tried to run off with the pack. And if you get out of line and can't nobody handle it, they come to the black Americans. The Italians, the Chinese, all them, when it's hot and you go too far, who you think do the job? We do. We do the job. That's a fact. You know, they had a built-in army already. You know, so the cartels they ride with the Crips, the Bloods, the GDs, BDs, Blackstone, Viceroys, folk on the hustlers. Built-in army, serious army. You ain't gonna see us out there doing that goofy stuff that Mexicans doing. You ain't gonna see no gang members out there doing that. Gang members is anonymous. They not finna go out there. Them goofies out there doing all that doing that stupid stuff, and they slow because now they doing this stuff under a regime that got face recognition. If you're Hispanic and you watching me, stay in the house. Listen, all the Latinos out here, they're gonna try to have these protests everywhere. If you smart, stay in the house. Don't let your senorita go out there. I'm telling you, because they not playing the game the way I'm playing it. They playing the game to let you do what you do, and they coming to get you later. They coming to get you. They're gonna record everybody's face, and they coming to get you. And when they come to get you, you're not gonna get the January 6th treatment. You ain't got the complexion for the protection. You going to prison, and you getting deported. And I hope you don't think that Trump is making deals with prisons all over South America and all over the world. I hope you don't think he's making them deals for nothing. You all are going to be loaded up in planes and sent to Guantanamo Bay and sent to prisons all down in Argentina and all down in the backwoods to the worst prisons in the world. And they're going to make a contract with them and pay them to keep you. You ain't going to get no family visitations, and they can treat you the way they want to treat you because you will not be on U.S. soil. He finna outsource prisons for people that go too far and think that you can just go in now and take over the prison. They finna send you where it don't matter what you do. You're gonna be in a hellhole. One thing in life, you gotta change with the times. You gotta keep up with the times. You gotta watch, you gotta listen. They're gonna deport a lot of them people is going bye-bye. They think they fighting deportation, but they signing up to be deported. How stupid can you get? They grabbing all of them. All they gotta do is have National Guard there and give us some time. Because guess what? A protest can only last so long because the protesters gotta what? They gotta go to work. They gotta pay their bills. So they out there now, yaki, 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 yaki. But you can only protest for so long for you gotta go feed your baby mama, take care of your kids. You're gonna have to one day stop and go back and do things to survive. And soon as you stop running around out there and you go home, they're gonna kick your dough in. They getting deported. Can you believe that? Goshen. I can't believe it, Goshen. I cannot believe that somebody's deporting and you go out here and do all this stupid stuff. I seen one guy, he had a face mask on. He was standing in front of him like this with a face mask on. He had a mask on to breathe so you could breathe from the tear gas. He had a mask on. He was standing there taunting. He was taunting the feds. And I said, this dude, he was standing out there taunting them. And I said, this dude here. Well, they didn't got their emotions all caught up into this stuff because people came up here and didn't fill out their paperwork, didn't learn no English, didn't try to become no American citizens, want to speak a bunch of Spanish, don't want to go fill out your paperwork, want to get a license just like me, but don't want to do nothing else. You want to drive like me, but you don't want to live like me. You want to do everything like American citizen, but you don't want to go through what's necessary to be American citizen. Your granny, y'all ain't teaching her no English. You can't talk. How long you Hispanics think you're going to stay in the country and think we got to learn how to talk to you? We want you out of here because we can't even get a job. We got to learn Spanish in America, which should be illegal unless we work at maybe some specific airport where people are coming in international. But for me to be having to work in the United States at any business, for me to have to know how to know Spanish to talk to you is crazy. You have to learn English. Why I can't get a job? Why I gotta learn Spanish in America? I mean, they got to get rid. That's definitely unconstitutional. That's illegal. That is illegal that you can't get a job unless you know Spanish. Well, you want to bring your ass to the hospital when you are illegally in a goddamn country. Anyway, we ain't even supposed to treat you if you ain't got no money. You want to get welfare and all this, and we can't get a job. Exactly, Samara. Because we got to learn how to talk to you. But you came here and you don't want to learn how to talk to me. You want to come here illegally and you want me to learn how to talk to you. Well, you don't speak no English in the United States. They need to bring that to Trump attention. Overturn that. Overturn that. I'm gonna have to make a whole video on that. Let me write that down. I'm gonna have to point that out. Why we gotta learn Spanish to talk to you. This ain't Spain and this ain't Mexico. Nobody ain't finna learn no Spanish to talk to you. If you can't speak English, stay where the hell you at. You're disrespectful. If I go down there, I gotta learn Spanish. I cannot go down in South and Central America and expect them to learn English to deal with me. You can have some interpreters, but you can't deny them work in a Spanish country because they don't speak English. He said LA is Mexican women. They not gonna hire you. Yeah, they real. They not gonna hire you. It's like a takeover. It's like an invasion. They lowball construction jobs. They undercut everything. They ruining the economy. Seriously. Hispanics bringing that cheap mentality from South and Central America up here, ruining everything. The country is so tacky now. It's so tacky. And let's not pretend they professional because it gets, and they're not professional. You know, I see these people talking about, oh, you want to get the work done, you want to get construction done. These Mexicans will do it. Yeah, but how long is it going to last? Oh, they're going to do it real fast. But that shit going to be tore before you blink. You get what you pay for. We had in my when my daddy's crib was when I started doing my live. They used to come and do the neighbor's house. And do you know they would open our gate and go through our yard? Listen, they got a contract to cut the grass to the neighbor on this side of me. The Mexican opened my father's gate and went in our yard. So I closed the gate and came in and trapped him in there and told him, listen, dude, if I catch you back on this property, that's where they're going to pick you up at. Okay, my friend. I'm not your friend. Okay, no comprende. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I don't know you. I don't know. I mean, no, I don't know. No comprende. I don't know you. Get out. You know, get out. Don't walk over here. We ain't pay you to do nothing over here. You working over there. Stay over there. All that's going to change. All that's going to everything. All that's going to change because the quality of life is sinking and sinking because anytime you got people that's here that don't want to be, that's running from their situation, they're gonna always really want to be home. They're not gonna be like me. I'm born here, so they're gonna always long to go back home. So they're never gonna have their heart into the country like that. They're gonna always be Mexico. Mexico is gonna be there. That's it. They're just here exploiting, just taking money. They got no love for the country like that. They don't love this place. Anytime you invest in some people that got somewhere else to run, it's a bad investment. They investing in people that as soon as things go bad, they're just gonna run back where they came from. And then those of us here that ain't got nowhere to run to, we got to pick up the pieces from what they did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you had 20, 30 years, you don't speak no English because you're disrespectful. Because you're disrespectful. I've been saying this and telling white America and telling white America and telling white America until white America gonna fall because you cannot take people that live right across the border where they can walk for a joke. You gotta lock your border up. Africans can't get here. Chinese can't get here. But these South Americans and Central Americans, they can walk over. They're gonna take your country from you. That border need to be totally sealed up. And any Democratic politician that don't want to close the border should be arrested for treason and jailed and put in prison. At least give them a 7 piece. Let them sit down for 7 years. That's treason. You're stating you want to keep the government. You want to keep the government open to all type of attacks and all that. Lots of Democratic politicians should be in prison for treason because they'll sell their mama for votes. They're willing to get them people licenses, whatever, just to get a vote to stay in office to get rich to pimp us. Because what good is a politician gonna do you if he wouldn't have let anybody come in and get votes? That just show right there. All he caring about is his money. He don't care nothing about you. He gonna let people come in and make your life not be so American, so he can get some votes. A lot of them so-called Democrats need to be locked up. They need to be in prison. They committing treason. They're not pushing to secure America. They want America open for votes. Everybody know it. I'll be watching the Midas touch overdoing it with the Democratic shit. They don't never talk no regular politics. It's just like some just Democratic news. They should be ashamed of themselves. You the Midas touch, tell some fair news. Tell them I said it. Tell them Pharaoh said the Midas touch is not fair and balanced. Everything is Democrat. The Republicans can't do nothing right. Then you got Fox News. It's all Republican. The Democrats can't do nothing right. All that's whack. That's all trash. Blacks can't do nothing right because you white. Whites can't do nothing right because you black. That's trash. You know what I'm saying? Let the best people do the damn job. We don't give a damn who it is. We don't care. Yeah, they trash. They done turned into some clown stuff. Rant away all the good politicians. Ran everybody away. You're 100% right. That's what it is. You're 100% right. Newsom is trash. Been trash. Newsom, California been going down. You know, we don't want to see no Republican news or no Democratic news. That's why we don't never know the real news. The whole Democrat Republican thing is crazy. If you see a candidate and you like it, they try to give you the whole party. I said, what? If you see a candidate and you say, I want to vote for him, I want to vote for her, they try to say you the whole party. So you can't even like a presidential candidate because they want to give you the whole party. This how slow Americans they got. Now, because I want to vote for this person for president, now you try to say I'm a Democrat. Or if I want to vote for this person, you try to say I'm a Republican. And I can't name 10 Republicans. And I can't name 10 Democrats. I don't know no Democrats. I know Chicago politics, but I don't know no national. I don't know them people. So I don't know no Republican. I don't know nobody. I know Trump. I know Harris. I know the ones that run or whatever. But I don't know who the Republicans are. Who the hell is the Republican? I can't name you 5 Republican senators. I don't know them. I don't know no Democrats. Who's a Democrat? I don't know. I don't keep up with that. I'm not at home writing down, oh, he's a Democrat, he's a Republican, he's a Democrat, and he's a Republican. Okay, I'm not doing, I'm not watching that like that. I'll see somebody. First off, I don't vote. I only vote when I see somebody I like. So just because you put 2 jackasses up there, well, I don't see nothing gonna benefit me at all. I don't vote. I only vote if I see something I can get out of it. That's it. That's it. And then my vote ain't up for debate. My vote's not up for debate like that. That's out of order too. I don't vote. I didn't say I don't vote, dummy. I said I don't vote unless I see something into it. And I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about them tearing up LA. Think about that. You slow. This conversation is not about politics. I'm talking anti politics, actually, stupid. If you got any comprehension, stop eating meat and get your comprehension up. Why am I talking about Democrats and Republicans? Because I'm grown and you can't stop me because I'm grown. I'm grown. So I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. I can make you not even be over here. That's why I do what I want to do. It's real simple. That's like asking you why you watching me if you don't like what I'm saying. What's the difference? Nobody. Listen, like I said, I vote for who I like when they say what I like. And if I don't see nobody say I like, I don't vote. It's real simple. As far as talking about politics, politics is trash because they won't get their shit together. Yeah, politics is crazy. They won't get their stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Is there a civil war coming? No. Ain't no civil war coming with no bunch of fat, meat eating people can't run a block. How y'all gonna have a civil war? You on the couch, a bunch of couch potatoes. You eat McDonald's and Burger King. Americans got diabetes. Americans is sick. How the fuck some sick people gonna have a goddamn civil war? Your fat asses. America is fat and sick. Hold on. Hold on. You talking about a civil war? Hold on. See how people? Okay, you said we're gonna have a civil war, right? I'm the realest alive. Subscribe to the channel. Let me put my cash app and stuff up. Now look, this is what they talking about finna have a civil war. Approximately 40.3% of U.S. adults aged 20 and older were estimated to be obese between August 2021 and August 2023. This means that over 100 million adults are considered obese. Additionally, about 41.9% of U.S. adults 20 and over were obese between 2017 and 2020. And he talked about the Civil War. All you going to have is some silverware, okay? You're not going to have a civil war. You're going to have silverware eating trash. That's why they're trying to make drones. Once again, Civil War. Right? Look. Civil War. We're going to have a Civil War. Sure. Sure, we'll have a Civil War. 77% of young Americans are too fat, mentally ill, and on drugs to be in the military. Obesity in the military. Unfit to serve. Too heavy to fight. Nearly 70% of American soldiers are obese or overweight. You have a civil war. Obesity epidemic a threat to U.S. military personnel. I can't with y'all. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't with y'all. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't with y'all. I can't. I can't do it. Okay? Don't you see all them losers out there? Y'all believe them losers stand out there could fight anybody? They look like they could. They look like they could do a civil war. They just out there clowning. They are. Soon as a gun busts, they'll all go home. They just out there because it's rubber bullets. If it was real bullets out there, it'd be quiet. They not built like that. Now let me tell you something. If you go to a gang, pick a gang. Out of 100% of any gang, you ain't got nothing but like 7% shooters. The rest of them, come on, man. You got 7% real shooters. Then you probably got another 10% of shooters that's going to cry when they get arrested and tell. And then the rest ain't going to even bust a grape. Okay? They ain't gonna bust a grape. These gang members out here, they not built like that. They just gang members until they get caught. Then they sang members and they start singing. You know, Pharaoh was with me. My brother was there. My mama gave me the gun. They ain't banging, they singing birds. They gonna tell. They gonna tell. That's why we don't do gang. You know what I mean? They not gang members, they sang members. They gonna sing. They gonna tell. They gonna tell. They got to watch the first 48. They gonna take them in there. Boom, they gonna lock them up. They gonna leave you locked in there till you need a cigarette or something to eat. And they gonna come back, they be like, you want a cigarette? Boom. You want some hamburger or something? Hamburger. They go to commercial, they come back. And then it was Pharaoh. He was over there on June 14th. I'd never forget. It was June 14th, right? It was 12:52. I remember because my mama got to be to work at 3, right? He had on a red shirt. He had on a belt with silver lion on it. I never forget. Okay. He had on some Converse, right? Because it matched, right? He drove up in the car he was in, that's his baby mama car, because I seen it in it, right? He shot dude 3 times. He pulled it from the right side of his waist, right? He pulled it from the right side of his waist. Then he shot it 3 times. And then he walked to the car. He walked around the car. And then he went over there to Steve and them house on 43rd. He went over on Steve and them house. And then he got on live. Listen, I show you. I show his Instagram. He got on Instagram. See what time it was? He had Pharaoh got on Instagram. He had just left here. So he got that same shirt on. He got that same shirt on. I can't go to jail, man. I can't go to jail. Pharaoh did all that. Man, I can't go to jail. Man, I can't go to jail, man. Man, I can't do this, man. I can't do this. That's just how they get down. I swear to God. They gonna tell everything. His mama named his daddy named Randolph Elliott Stewart. His mama named Bessie McLeod Stewart. They gonna tell everything. Everything they gonna tell. I don't do crimes. I don't do crimes. They gonna tell. They gonna tell. When they start grabbing them people out there in LA, they gonna tell. It wasn't me. It wasn't me throwing the fireworks. It was my boy Jimmy Bob. Jimmy Bob. Jimmy Bob. They gonna tell. They gonna tell. They gonna tell. They gonna tell. They gonna tell everything. These people can't fight no war or nothing. Americans is spoiled. These Mexicans coming up here, they being Americanized. They on Cheetos and burritos and stuff. They all overweight too. These Mexicans coming up here to get cancer. These Mexicans coming signing up for colon cancer, prostate cancer, diabetes. That's what they signing up for. Look it up. Look at Mexicans. Look at Hispanics in America. They sick. They sick up here eating this stuff. chasing Babylon, want to be Babylonians, working for the people. They working for the people. They suckers. They suckers. They working for the people. I'm telling you what they doing. They got them people there doing all that foolishness. Them people is working for the system, and they don't even know it. They are working for the system. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They don't care nothing about them tearing up LA. They're finna tear all that up anyway. They suckers, man. I'm telling you. They working for the system, don't even know it. The system's smart. They see you do something, they have a meeting and say, well, can we manipulate this? They say, yeah, seeing that everything burnt up anyway, seeing we had these big fires, we could use this. They could get out of line. We could totally come down on them. We could totally displace them and wipe them out. We could gentrify the whole area and get these Mexicans and these Hispanics out of here. They're going to take it from them. You see, one problem with Mexicans and Hispanics, they don't know the game. The only one know the game is the Puerto Ricans in New York that been here a long time, and the Cubans in Florida. But these new ones that just been coming up since the '80s, they don't know who they playing with. They don't know who they playing with. That when you go back, unless the system, this might not happen because the system might crash. But when you see LA in 10 years, it won't be no Hispanics nowhere. They're going to all be back down there. Look, I told everybody the game. This is what they did. They went to South and Central America. They made the conditions to chase the South and Central Americans up here. This is a plan, y'all. They chase them up here. Then they take their land. Because, see, they left the valuable land to come to the concrete. America been having a hard time with its fruit. Okay? The almonds been messing up in California. The grapes ain't been doing right. They lost the whole peach crop in Atlanta last year. So let's say, let's just make up a number. If I got to grow 3 million worth of produce to harvest 1 million, right? I used to grow 1.5 million and harvest 1 million. But with natural disasters, I got to grow 3 times as much to harvest. Now, if I need 10 million, but I can't grow 20 million here or 60 million here, I got to find somewhere where I can grow 60 million so that when I lose 40 million, I still have 20 million. So they going down there taking their land. They taking their land. They taking all that land in Venezuela. They taking all of that. Then they're going to set up their businesses. I did this discussion. Hold on. Let me pull it up. They taking their land. Right? Hold on. Let me show y'all what's really happening. They taking their land. Right? Watch this. They taking their land. And when they take their land, they gonna go down there and They're going to plant food. They gonna plant food. So they're gonna take your land. They're gonna come. They're gonna plant food, right? They're gonna take your land and they're gonna come. They're gonna plant food. Let me find. Okay. So look at this picture right here. Check this out. Look at this picture. See that? They were saying these are people that want to leave down there in Venezuela and stuff like that. Now, what most people gonna do, you're gonna look at the people, but look at the land on the right and to the left. You see them banana leaves on banana? You see how green it is? You see how plush it is? You see how much food you can grow down there? Right? So the plan is to get them to come this way. When you get them to come this way, you cut all that down. So you get the Mexicans, you get the Venezuelans, you get them to come north. When they come north, guess who goes south? Guess who goes south when you come north? Chiquita goes south. Chiquita goes south. Guess who else goes south? Blue Diamond goes south. Guess who else goes south? Sunkiss goes south. Right? While you come this way. You come this way, they go that way. They go that way. Then they take their drones. And they attack the cartels. Right? They take their drones. They attack the cartels. Right? They take all that land. They build all of that stuff down there. So they build these big plantations, bananas, peaches. They're already getting stuff from down there, watermelons, cantaloupe, honeydew melon, tobacco, cocoa, all of that down there. And then they build housing. They build low housing in a tropical area. They just build some little places for you to live. Right? They build some little places for people to live because somebody got to pick this stuff, right? Somebody got to pick it. So they build some places for you to live. And then they come up here and they raise your prices. And they make the living conditions unbearable for you. Now they start telling you, you do know you could go back to Venezuela. We got jobs in Venezuela. We got jobs in Mexico. Cost of living is lower. Housing is lower. You could come live here. You could work for Chiquita. You could come live here. You could work for Blue Diamond. They're going to have houses right there where they got this stuff. They're going to take your land. They're going to turn it into a food industrial complex where they're growing all the food. Then they're going to starve you out up here, and they're going to make you go back home. So now you're going to go back home and live on their land. the Venezuelans, the Mexicans, they're going to go back to Mexico, Venezuela, El Salvador, but they won't own the land no more. They'll go back home and be like, my granny used to live there. Yeah, but now it's Chiquita. My granny used to live there. Oh, now they're growing plants to make tequila now. And then people gonna go back and pay rent to American corporations and European corporations. They're gonna pay rent on their land to live in their land, and they're gonna be picking fruit and stuff down there. The same thing they was doing down up here. They're already doing it. All the corporations in Mexico, they done bought Mexico. So while Mexicans up here, businesses is in Mexico. Right now, buying up the whole Mexico. Look at it. American businesses is buying the whole Mexico. I can go to Mexico right now because they ain't doing offices no more. They doing remote work. I can go to Mexico right now and work for Blue Cross Blue Shield or anybody online. One of my queens down there now, one of my exes is down there now. She live in Mexico. She getting money in Mexico. Yeah, my daughter's mother, she's in Mexico, making money, giving money. Americans is in Mexico. They done took Mexico. They done took Mexico. They done took Mexico from the Mexicans. While the Mexicans came this way, they went that way. The Mexicans came this way, they threw them in all the prisons. Texas and California got the most prisons. And guess what they full of? Mexicans. Mexicans. State prison in California is full of Mexicans. State prison in Texas is full of Mexicans. They came up here to get overweight, sick, and go to prison, get starved out, and sent back down there where they won't own their land. It's just they went for the sucker move. You come this way, we buy your land. You come this way. They're going to wipe the cartels out because they want that land. They're like, later for some cocaine. We need oranges. we making more money. Man, who you think making the most money? Cocaine or bananas? Bananas making way more money than cocaine. Bananas, oranges, grapefruits, celery, onions, garlic, making way more money than way more. Way more. How much white and yellow onions you think they selling in America? Coffee. You don't see all that food Whole Food they make it so much money they can throw it away. Oh, this is Wilton. Throw it away. Put a whole fresh batch up there. Got the water spraying on it. They're making a fortune. They're running the game on the Hispanics. Why would you leave down there and come your dumb ass up here? Why would you leave all that beautiful plush land where if these people work together and work that land and grew that food, they can all be rich? No, they want to go to McDonald's. They want to go to the restaurant. They want to go to the grocery store. They don't want to grow it. And they're going to send them up here. They're going to take their land and they're going to send them right back. They're going to send them back. Because all they got to do is starve you out and you'll leave. They know how to make you leave. They know how to make them people leave. If they gentrify LA, the Mexicans will have to leave. Because all they got to do is not hire you for the high-end jobs, then raise the price. You don't got the job to afford to be there. You got to leave. They could price you out. They're running the game on them. They have no intention for them to be here. Williams. You think they listen? This is why I keep telling them. It's only one people on this planet that's white men experts. It's only one expert. It ain't the Africans. It ain't the Asians or nobody. Black Americans are the expert on them. We know them better than anybody. Nobody don't know them better than us because we the only one live with them. Everybody else get exploited from a distance. Jamaica getting exploited from Britain from a distance. They get exploited from a distance in the Caribbean. In Africa, they get exploited from the distance. The Russians pimping Burkina from a distance. America pimping them from a distance. Europe pimping Africa from a distance. They be in Europe and they pimp you. And they take shell down there and suck the oil out of Nigeria and pimp you. They stay. We the only ones live right here with them. Name me another people that live right there with them. Nobody. We live right here, Washington, D.C., right here. So they don't know. They getting pimped from a distance. We know how you get out. So when they was giving that money, I wasn't complaining. I was like, yeah, take the money. I already know he not giving you nothing. They thought he was giving them something. Boy, listen, this dude, listen. The whitest black people in the world is black Americans. We just like them. That's why we kind of get along. I know y'all don't want to hear it. I know y'all don't want to hear it. One time I lived in O Block, and I'm gonna get back to this, but this is a deep story. I was at O Block, and I used to listen to this reggae show, and they wouldn't play the reggae. They was on there talking. So I called in and said, "Why y'all don't shut up and play the reggae and stuff?" And they got to talking crazy to me. Well, I was in the music business. They was right there at WHBK. I'm always at WHBK. You talking crazy. A lot of times you won't smoke, but you're not close to the fire. Well, this time the fire was right there on 63rd and they right around the corner. So, okay, you want to talk crazy to me on the phone? Okay. So I went to the radio station. So when I walked in the radio station, you know what they said? They said, so now we got a real brother in there. Brother Pharaoh Ramesses, we got a real one in there. Because they was mad about whoever that was on the phone. So when I walked in there, they said, we got a real one. We got somebody really represent. What's up, brother? I said, hey, everything cool. I was the dude on the phone. So I started trashing shit. I started. Y'all know I get down. I got on the microphone, start trash and shit. Rah, rah, rah. I threw Marcus Garvey under the bus. Wow. Upset the whole radio station. Punked them basically. I punked them. They talk about how great I am. I'm the dude on the phone. Yeah, I know I'm great, but y'all suck. Wow. Well, anyway, that's not the part of the story, but it is funny. So when we came downstairs, the roster lady, one of the roster sisters that didn't like me stepping on stuff and won't stay in a woman's place, but that's another story. Because, I was like, girl, shut up, talking to me, go cook her. You know what I'm saying? We can get together and do something, you know. But I ain't even listened to my mama once I got in 6th grade. I know you don't think I'm listening to you, right? But anyway, so she got mad. So she said, you're just like the white man. That's what she said. She tried to insult me. She tried to insult me. She said I was just like the white man. She thought it was an insult. She thought it was an insult. She don't know I'm crazy. Something wrong with me. She thought it was an insult. She was all these black rastas like. They say you just like the white man. So I told her, I said, that's my stepdaddy. That's my, I told her, you should have seen their faces. I said, that's my stepdad. I'm just like her. That's my stepdad. He raised me, which is the truth. I was raised under slavery. I was raised under cruel conditions. So I told her, that's my stepdad. I'm just like him. So everybody dispersed. There was no more talk. It was no more talk once I said that. Once I told her that's my stepdad, I'm just like him. I'm gonna do you like how he do. I'm gonna do, stop talking to me. You know what I'm saying? I showed y'all love. Cause y'all was talking greasy on the radio about me. I was supposed to go pick up the guys. I came up there by myself because it's love. I just wanted to play. I was just having a little fun. It ain't no real drama. I would have walked in with like 4 or 5 people if it was like that. I would have got some of the little block-ins and went and bought them some blunts and stuff and some food to eat. Say, y'all ride with me and take care of something. They're like, yeah, straight up, Ja Rule. I would have paid some people. Get them some sandwiches, some blunts and shit. And they would have rolled out. They don't even know me like that. They just know Ja Rule. What up, Ja Rule? Come on, man, I get y'all some sandwiches stuff. I need y'all to stand on something. Man, we got you. I saw these. We could have came up here. We could have been, or I could have went and got the rappers that really is family. I could have called up. What up, TCO? Where you at, Robin? Where you at? Listen, man, I need to pick you up right quick. Y'all close. I gotta go to the radio station. I wasn't on that though, but it made me think about. That's why I think like that because the European is my stepfather. I'm raised under the European. I know how he do things. He's a gangster. He keep it gangster. He go get the dollars. And for the European, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. They not bringing nobody in here if they can't make no money. They not helping shit. If they bring you up here and pay you, it's an overplay for the underplay and an underplay for the overplay. When they bought them up here, I knew y'all some suckers. This ain't gonna work out good for y'all. I knew it wasn't gonna work out good because they finna take y'all land because y'all got some good land. They like, yeah, come this way, right? Because what Venezuela got? Remember, America was beefing with the leader of Venezuela. He passed away. What they got? They got all the oil. Listen, they got all the oil. Look. Look. They got all the oil. If they get you the hell out of there, they can go down there and take it. Look, according to the 2022 BP Statistical Review of World Energy, Venezuela has more proved oil reserve than any other country in the world. Venezuela's 204 billion barrels of proved reserve just edged out Saudi Arabia's 298 billion barrels. Both are far ahead of U.S. proved reserve of 69 billion barrels. America got 69 billion barrels reserve. Saudi Arabia got 298. Venezuela got 304 billion barrels of oil reserve. They finna come get that. They finna come get that. So that's why that's why the Venezuelans was brought up here. They paid the cartels to bring them up here too. And they turned the other eye to let them in there. Trump know why they is up here. They know why they here. They just playing dumb. They just don't want y'all to know. They gonna take them people land, okay? Yeah, yeah. They slick, y'all. They don't do no favors. They don't do no favors. They did not let them up here to destroy America. They bought them up here so America could get richer. They taking all that from them. They got them displaced. They got them messed up. By the time they get it together and get down there, America gonna own all that land they left. How much land they left when they ran this way? How much military ain't down there for America attack when all they men and all they people came north and America go down there and just take their stuff and all your soldiers is up where we at. Then they can knock them back too. So if they decide to attack you, they could just gather all the Venezuelans, right? Right? Okay, look, you a Venezuelan. You come up here, right? They say, look, we got free stuff, man. I say, for real? Yeah, we got free stuff. We'll give you free money. They say, we'll give you free money. You say, are you real? So they all come, they give her free money. But they didn't give you free money. They gave you a card. They gave you a card, got a chip in it, right? They gave you a card with a chip in it. So everywhere you go use that chip, they know exactly where you at. They know exactly where every Venezuelan is at when they get ready to grab you. Because they never gave you no money. They gave you a tracking device. You know what I'm saying? They gave them a tracking device. Think about it. They gave them a tracking device. You go and buy diapers and stuff. They're like, yeah, he over here. She over there. They right there. They know where you at. They know where y'all all at right now. They know where every Venezuelan is at that took that cards. They know where you at. And that's pennies compared to what it take to get that oil. They want that oil. By the time they get back to Venezuela, it's gonna be America down there. And they're gonna know who you are. Like, oh, let's see. Give us your card. Okay. Oh, Jose Galuda. Okay. We got a place for you. Go right there and pick these goddamn oranges, these bananas, or whatever. Shut up. It's like that. He's like, I used to live. This used to be my granddaddy land. Yeah, used to be. Yeah, used to be. This used to be your granddaddy. No. It used to be back in the day. This U.S. property now. This Chiquita bananas. The Chiquita bananas now. We need bananas. We need warm weather. We need almonds. The almond crop been failing in California. How many years in a row? Cali people know crops been failing. These is gangsters. They gonna do something to you black people. They ain't gonna never do nothing to black Americans. Stop listening to these people talking about they trying to get rid of black Americans. Trump probably gonna give us reparations. They gonna take care of us. We the hit men. We the hit men for white America. We the one they said we the one they would have been ran out of Vietnam if we wasn't down there. They were down there crying and shit, begging for their mama. You know, my OGs was in Vietnam. They told me they was down there begging and crying, "Mommy," you know, they was. You know what I'm saying? They gonna always take care of us. We taught them everything they know as far as agriculture and all that shit. We like a good luck charm. This is over a lot of people's head. They got soothsayers, and they soothsayers tell them if you touch black Americans, they God gonna destroy you. They scared of us. They scared of our God. You see Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? Babylon threw them in the fire. And when the king looked in there, it was 4 people in there, but they only threw in 3. He told the soldier, go get them out. When they went and got them out, opened it, the flames burnt a lot of the soldiers, but the men came out. They didn't even smell like smoke or nothing. But only 3 came out. The 4th one, they don't know what it was. And what did the king of Babylon declare? He said, everybody else is still under Babylon. But these black people right here, leave them alone. They could do whatever they want to do because they got real. Look it up. He made a declaration that the black people could function the way they want to function. Facts. Because we like the good luck charm. They think the tornadoes and stuff won't do nothing to them if we here. They feel like our God won't totally destroy the place as long as we here. If they ever get a European in here that go against us, this whole shit gonna get tore up. Every time they start tripping with us, they get more storms, there's more UFO sightings, and all that. Every time Babylon start messing with us, they start seeing more UFOs. It start being more earthquakes. It start being more volcanoes. It start being more tornadoes, hurricanes. A section of their stuff get tore up. Like they try to play with us over here, tornadoes just be coming through. If you think I'm like, the tornadoes be coming through. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. They have holy men. They got holy men on the dark side to tell them, like the dark side of holy, whatever the opposite of holy is. They got them. They got people that soothsayers, Merlin the magician types that get them advice. If he tell Trump give black people reparations, he gonna get them one day. I'm gonna give black Americans reparations. He gonna do whatever them soothsayers tell him to do. That's why other races, when they come in, they be jealous of black Americans. Either other black people be jealous of us. They be jealous. Think about Africa. Think about if you was in Africa and you betrayed some of your people and you let them be shipped off of the coast and you got slave castles and all this. And then these people go away and you thinking they gone forever. They call it the castle of no return. Once you went to the slave castle, they say you'll never be seen again. In Ghana, they called it the door of no return. And they said once you went, they'll never see you again. So imagine all these black people is taken from your country, from your continent, from various countries. And you think you ain't gonna never see them no more. And eventually technology and stuff started happening. Radio started happening. You turn on, you see Muhammad Ali. You see Michael Jackson. You see Diana Ross, Aretha Franklin. It's way back in the 60s you start seeing they made it. Wait a minute. They started being the Black Power movement. Then they started being the main black strength around the world. You start hearing about UEP, Newton. You saying they made it? You saying they made it? How they make it? Now they becoming the heroes. Ali, Kumbaya, Ali, Kumbaya. They coming fighting in Africa. Now you start loving us. All the youth start loving us. So now the older Africans hating. They hate us. Because they see they kids loving us. I mean, Daddy, I want to go to America. I want to be like American. I want to be like Dr. J. I want to be. So they hate them. So they tell them, no, don't go around them Americans. They going to do this. They start teaching their children. When you go to America, don't be around them. Don't go around them. That's why the Africans learned that from their relatives. They started telling them the opposite. Oh, no. They started trying to find the black exploitation stuff and show, oh, they criminals. Because we had too many famous people. So they started trying to do the criminalizers to show the bad ones. So they want to be worshiping the good ones. So that's put into Africa's head when they come, not to go around you bad and all of this. While on the low, they imitating you like Burna Boy. He ain't doing nothing but black American, African, black American shit. There ain't no African shit he doing. He's singing African, but he doing what we doing. He taking concerts and tours from us. They ain't had no damn concerts in Africa. They wasn't doing no tours and all that. He getting that from 50 Cent and Chris Brown, and from us, the one doing the big music tours. When no Africans doing no music tours, who? They ain't had no version of the I.C.E brothers. They ain't had no version of the Parliament Funkadelic. They ain't had no shit like that. They ain't had nothing like that. What they know about concert tours? Nothing. They trying to do an African version of what we doing. Trying to do an African dress like how we dress, but try to Africanize it. Trying to be fly like us. Which it ain't really working. We ain't never wearing that. What is those? You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody do nothing to us. Now it ain't man. Now you out your rabid man. So that's why I'm here to tell Black Americans, stand down. Stand down, stand down, stand down. Do not get involved with that situation. And when you see a black person get involved with that situation, reject them, unfollow them on social media, and disrespect them too. Go on their social media and tell them, we don't appreciate you jumping in that. We don't appreciate you jumping in that. I'm not riding with that. Where are the Hispanics and Latinos when it comes to reparations for Foundation of Black Americans? We pushing for reparations. Where they at? Show me where they said, yes, these is our brown brothers. It's black and brown love. Give our black brothers reparations. It's brown and black. Show me. Show me where they stood up for us. Show me. Show me when it comes to us trying to get reparations for the way we was mistreated in this country. Show me brown and black love. Show me where the brown stood up for the black. Show me. As a matter of fact, the brown was against reparations. A whole bunch of Hispanics was coming in our lives talking about what we supposed to get into and what make you Hispanics was fighting against it. This is a fact. I've been pushing reparations, and how many Hispanics came over here fighting against it? How many Latina, La Raza, came over here fighting against our reparations, want to be included in it, and ain't picked no cotton, ain't been through no slavery, ain't been through what we've been through, and they try to piggyback when they see we get reparations. They ain't do nothing but hate on it. That's all they did. They fought against us. All they do is get gangs and try to out gangbang us and make us ops. That's all they do. Is try to compete with us. They ain't never been no friends or nothing like that. Brown and black love, they didn't even make that up. Black Americans made brown and black up in the late 70s. That's black people made that up. For all you Hispanic, that was black people made that up. When certain white presidents was stopping y'all at the border It was black people saying, let them people alone, let them come into the country just like white people came into the country. That was us. We made up black brown love. Hispanics did not make that up. That was my parents and them and a generation a little older than me made that up. They was pushing that when I got to LA. They was standing up for y'all that had a right to cross the border. That's a fact. It was black people standing up for brown. It was never no brown people ain't never stood up for us. We always stood up for them. We the one wanted Rainbow Coalition. We the one Rainbow Coalition. We the one always was trying to help to always speaking up for the Asians and the Hispanics. That was us doing that. They ain't never spoke up for us. That was us trying to include non-whites. That's a fact. That was never Hispanics. Ever. That was black people that pushed the Rainbow Coalition. What you think Rainbow Coalition meant? What you think it meant when Jesse Jackson went from push, Operation Push, to Rainbow? Even the Nation of Islam started bringing in Mexicans and Hispanics into the Nation of Islam. Always reaching out to everybody, don't never reach out to us. This is facts. Don't come over here telling me nothing about no black and brown taking what we did. It ain't no black and brown unity, okay? Because with the Hispanic community, it's brown and white. Latinos, you're not even brown. Only some of you are brown. And some of you are nothing but Spanish people from Spain using talking Spanish to try to make Spanish sound cultural when Spanish is European. You're European. You're the descendants of the conquistadors that used to come in, and what they would do is they would kill the men and breed out the women and then put their sons in charge. This is what they did in North Africa. They tried to come into Egypt, right? This is why Hannibal went up there, because they tried to come into Egypt and do that to Cleopatra. And they wanted to come in and kill the Egyptian men, impregnate the women, and have half-breed sons. And then they would have babies and then impregnate them and slowly turn you white. Because if they impregnate the black woman and then have children and then mix those children with the whites, they could change your color. This is what they did. This is what they did to you Hispanics. They breeded you out. They breeded you out. You're no longer Aztecs. You're no longer Incas. You're no longer Mayans. And it ain't no brown and black love because you do not like black Mexicans. Okay? So we're going to stop with the cap. Okay? We're not finna do all that. White Hispanics do not like black Hispanics. Do not. And the black Mexicans didn't get no citizenship until about 3 or 4 years ago. They lived in Mexico with no citizenship. They have whole little villages and they keep them tucked off. They do not respect the blacks in South and Central America. They don't respect the black Brazilians. They don't respect no black Mexicans. You don't even know it's Afro-Mexicans, Afro-Brazilians. You don't even know. You ain't heard nothing about no Afro-Mexicans. But I got the receipts. I got the info. There they go. There they go. The ones you're trying to hide. You don't see white Hispanics do anything for Afro-Mexicans. They try to act like it don't exist. And these are the people, these are the people that fought all their revolutionary wars. Afro-Hispanics, Afro-Latinos fought all them wars down there. All them generals and stuff that led them wars was black. They do them the same way the Indians do the Afro-Indians. You ever notice in India they got them real black Indians? And you ever notice them black Indians ain't over here, only the white Indians from India? Y'all know in India they got them real black Indians. And when you're in America and you see Indians, you only see the light ones. You never see the black Indians from India get visas and shit to come over here. Only the white ones. Because they breeded them out too. If any smart white guy think he got some knowledge and want to put up 5 racks and debate me so I can take your money, if you smart, if you want to debate, put up the 5 racks so I can take your bread. Because you never see these Mexicans. You never see these Mexicans. You never see these Mexicans. So don't try to come from down there and come up here and sell me no brown and black love while you down there on something totally different. Because this what you want in South and Central America. This what y'all really on. Yeah, I know. Y'all didn't know I know all that. That's why they call me Big Pharaoh, not Little Pharaoh. I'm not young Pharaoh. I'm not young Pharaoh. See, this is the real how they really portray us down there. Okay? This is the imagery they really have of us down there. Okay? Yeah. This is how they look at you when they come up here. Shine their shoes. See, they know a lot of black Americans. You don't know that. They know you don't know. You want this why I'm not monetized. They say I'm too inflammatory. The truth is offense. See? See this imagery of us? This is one of their biggest cartoons. They love this. This was a huge cartoon down there. They thought this was funny. They think that's funny. On my soul. They think that's funny now. So when they come up here, this is the attitude they got. This is what they would show them when they was children. They grew up as kids looking at this. See, he a monkey? You see, he's a monkey. You see, they draw the little boy like a monkey. And they draw the woman like a big old ancient mima, like a slave, like she's just supposed to cook. Yes, sir, right? They draw her like a slave. A monkey and a slave. Say, I don't want you, I ain't supposed to show you this. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, I had somebody coming over talking that black and brown love. As soon as I started showing this stuff, he disappeared. Yeah, he disappeared because he was embarrassed because he know about this, but he couldn't believe I knew it. So when people come over here, this called drunken monkey style. I make myself look a little bit unintelligent sometimes, just so I can take people money. I want you to underplay me. But no, I ain't that. I'm one of the top scholars in this country. On my soul. Facts. I'm one of the people in the lectures All them people you look up to. I was the one of the shorties in the lectures. See? See how they betray us for real down there? This is real. This what's really going on in South and Central America. This is what they really think about you. And they hide you. They hide you where nobody can see you. They hide you down there. The Afro Mexicans gotta hide. They gotta be in the shadows. You know how they treat that boy down there? They ain't gonna let him come up here. They ain't gonna let them come up here. They ain't gonna let them come. They hide them. They gotta live in darkness in the back. They get treated so bad down there, you wouldn't believe it. They'll go sleep with them on the side and have babies bound. They try to prostitute them out. They'll do that. But they ain't gonna marry you. They ain't gonna make them an honest woman. They ain't got no love down there like that. Come on, man. They ain't got no love like that. They ain't got no love like that down there. They ain't got no love down there. Not like that. Same thing in Venezuela. Venezuela the same way. This Venezuela. That's Venezuela. That's Venezuela. This how they show they black leaders that fought for their revolution for them to get free. This how they portray them. Guatemala. Guatemala same way. Guatemala got the same cartoons. Guatemala. They come up here with that kind of attitude. These facts. That's how they do in America. So if you're a white Hispanic, you good. You know what I'm saying? But be a black Hispanic. Be a Haitian. Yeah, be black. You ain't never seen them do that to the white Hispanic Mexicans. You ain't never seen them do that. You ain't never seen them do that to the Venezuelans. You ain't never seen them do it to the Nicaraguans, the Hondurans. But when the black ones came up here, look at the difference. You know, Sherrod, you got to do research. You know what I'm saying? You got to do research, and you know what I'm saying? There's people that's supposed to be your scholars. They ain't on that type of stuff.